Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm showing you my custom big mouth fish. I mean, as far as I can tell, it doesn't say Jemmy anywhere on it. But yeah, let's take a look at this. So as you may remember, I have a Billy Bass that's painted. Well, this is it. I originally kept it painted on this plaque after I painted that. But as you can probably tell, it was starting to flake apart and it just didn't look good anymore and it was just going to get worse. So you can obviously tell this is just a Billy Bass skin. If you look closely, you can see some white spots from the paint I wasn't able to get off. Like, it was hours of scrubbing to get that paint off, but it just didn't look good, so I just wanted to get it original again. And the skin kind of looks like big mouth fish. I mean, you can obviously tell it's a Billy Bass one, but still, it has overall big mouth fish look. So I always was pretty excited about the knockoff fish, big mouth fish, because, well, it was so much like Billy Bass, but they did some obvious things to change it, like the button placement, the way the nameplate is, and just the overall look of the fish. And that intrigued me, and I wanted to recreate it. And so we all know that the Arabic one has been found, so I originally wanted to make this one that, but I decided to change it up a bit. I haven't come up with an idea for the nameplate yet. I'll probably just put some wall spackle in the holes where the button and sensor used to be. And that's actually what I did here. I put some wall spackle in the holes for the button and sensor, and it surprisingly held together really good. So first of all, what I wanted to do is just paint the plaque. And so I did, and when I first started, it didn't look very good. It looked like the original wood was gonna show through, but when I gave it a couple coats, it started to give it a nice solid color with no black border around it. So I think that turned out pretty well. You can obviously see some scratches and stuff. I'm not sure about on camera, but in person you can clearly see that it's pretty scratched up just by scratching it with your nail a little bit, but I don't think it looks too bad. So before I painted the plaque, I had to drill the holes for the button and sensor. So I was worried that the plaque will crack if I drilled it, but I started off with a small drill bit, then I went with a bigger one, and it surprisingly didn't crack, and it was a very clean hole from it, so I'm really surprised of how well that worked. So now if we flip over the fish and look at the back, you may notice it's kind of a wreck in a way. You can obviously tell it has a glossy finish and it's been painted, and the part of the stand has been filled in by wall spackle. I know it looks like crap, but it's the best I could really do because it has a big mouth fish type stand with only one leg coming out. You can kind of see some of the wall spackle that I used. I mean, overall, structurally, it turned out pretty decent, but it certainly doesn't look original like a big mouth fish at all. Also, I scratched off the Jemmy logo. You can even see some of the scratches through the paint, which is very disappointing, but it is what it is. I know that big mouth fish doesn't have that little string or that ribbon thing to keep the stand from going too far out, but if I didn't have that, I'm pretty sure it would go too far out, so I think I'm just going to leave that on there for now. So if you look in the battery compartment, you may notice something a little odd. Yeah, 4.5 volts instead of 6. That's for a reason. So there is an original 1999 Big Mouth Billy Bass circuit in here, but it has a twist. I ordered one of those things from Amazon called a voice module, and this one is like a 8 megabyte micro USB one. So I decided I could put the Arabic audio recordings on there, but I ended up not doing that. I actually ended up putting the Jayada, I don't even know, recording on there. And so I have it playing the Jayada recordings, which is pretty much just a knockoff recording of the Billy Bass, a low quality one. So I put the voice module in here, connected it to the Jemmy speaker, the Jemmy button, and so if I press this button right here, it plays the gyro recordings. But you notice the fish didn't move. But if I press this button, yes, that's a button, actually not a sensor, but it's actually activating the Billy Bass circuit. So I disconnected the speaker from the Billy Bass circuit, put it on the voice module, so the voice module plays the gyro recordings while it moves to the Billy Bass circuit. But the thing is, you have to press both buttons at one time, and then the voice module can only hold one long recording. Even if you add multiple MP3 files, it only acts as one recording. So you have to press the button to activate the Billy Bass circuit at the right time, right before it plays the second song, which is really not ideal, but I could not find any other way without using an Arduino or something, which I won't even mess with. And another thing, when I was building this, the headgear actually split, so I didn't have anything else but the 3 gears that were on here for each motor shaft. So what I actually did is I took the one out of the mouth and put it in the head mechanism, because I'm just going to leave the mouth not moving, because otherwise it wouldn't be accurate. I know the head and tail are also not accurate, but it would completely give it away the way that the mouth moves to the words, unlike the actual big mouth fish. So you may be wondering what this switch does. The switch actually just acts as the sensor switch still, but the sensor's just laying inside of here, at least for now. And the adapter jack only acts as an adapter for the Billy Bass circuit. It doesn't do anything with the voice module. So the voice module can only run on 5 volts or less, and any more would actually fry it. So that's the reason why I have only 3 C batteries instead of 4, because otherwise it probably could fry it. So the Billy Bass movement is a little slow, but I kind of like it. Also, you can still see some of the paint, some of it's rubbing off on the fish, but it doesn't look like it's affecting that too bad. A little bit right there maybe, but I mean, what am I gonna do? So sometimes the voice module likes to cut out the audio. Sometimes it just shuts off and the Billy Bass keeps on moving. So I guess if it doesn't have enough power, the voice module just shuts off, where we all know a Billy Bass just plays really slowly. And so I had to actually lower the volume a little bit on the voice module, so it's probably not quite as loud as a big mouth fish would be, but it's still plenty loud. I'm not too sure how loud a big mouth fish even is, but for the people that do have one can probably tell. So anyways, let's get into the activation. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, definitely consider subscribing and let me know if you have any ideas of how I can improve this.